Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. Hope you're all well. Saturday afternoon, so it's time to start having a beer. Say Saturday afternoon, it's about 4:30 now, so we're getting near enough the evening, aren't we? Anyway, we're back with another beer review. Like I say, it's one that I picked up from Londis in Bethesda, North Wales. Cracking little shop. Go and have a look. Beer glasses, German beer, Belgian beer, lots of craft beer. And this beer is actually sort of local to North Wales, if you like. Well, it's definitely on sort of like on the North Wales coast. I'm not exactly sure where they're out of. But we are taking a look at a beer from Cwrw Llyn. And this is a can of their Mimosa Pale Ale. And I'm hoping that that is just name and not what it's going to be tasting like. 440ml can coming in at 4.2%. It does say hoppy and citrus. Think this coming, I think about £3.70, but I could be wrong. Could have been a little bit more, but I think about £3.70. I'm just going to hold that up there. If you want to try and zoom in and read it, feel free. I can't read it. My eyesight is terrible. I really need to get me shit sorted. So yeah, I have had a couple of beers from them before. One was an IPA, which I thought was really, really good. Had it on tap and I reviewed it out of the bottle. So we're going to take a look at this one now. I might have had others from them, but I think this is possibly my third at the most. Third beer from these lot at the most, possibly only my second. So I'm going to stop talking. There we go. Beautiful artwork. I do like the artwork on the can. Very nice indeed. So let's get it cracked and see what we get. I've got quite a few beers coming up. Well, over the next 2-3 months, to be honest. I've got stuff uploaded up until sort of like the second week of July, and we're only just sort of like the 31st of May. So I've got plenty of stuff lined up. I'm expecting this one to be sort of traditionalist, but yeah, plenty of beers that hopefully that are going to be sort of more available to people. They're not all going to be available to people that easy, but hopefully a lot of them will be. So beer in a glass, there we go. Very sort of ambery looking sort of beer. We've got a couple of bubbles stuck to the glass, not perfectly clean. Don't even know if I'd done that, possibly not. But sort of amber, sort of traditional looking, hazy, quite a big sort of spacious, well, quite spacious head. Slightly, not pure white, but definitely a white sort of head. And I can see bubbles going up. So, hoppy and citrus. Let's give it a swirl, dive in with the nose. I reckon this could have that feel of maybe a traditional sort of West Coast thing, even though it's same pale ale, maybe a West Coast pale. Okay. Very malty. Malty, toffee, caramel sort of thing going on in the background there. There is maybe that orange sort of West Coast feel to it, and even maybe a little bit of grapefruit in there, especially with that malty sort of caramel note behind it. It does feel not full on sort of West Coast, traditional West Coast feel, but it's got elements there that give it that sort of feel. Anyway, we're going to stop sniffing. Cwrw Llyn and their Mimosa Pale Ale, 4.2%. Let's dive in, give it a go. Cheers, everyone. Just thinking. It's going again. It's to a certain extent is what I expected, but not what I expected. Sometimes you just don't know what to expect, do you? And sometimes you sort of assume something and they're not what you sort of expect. I've got to say, it's not quite hitting the notes for me personally. I think that's just my taste. Definitely got a West Coast sort of feel to it. %4.2%. Body is light, but I would say it's quite a decent body for that ABV. I'm not going to say above average, above medium, I would say. Still got that sort of lightness about it for drinking, but a little bit of weight as it sort of glides down. It's one I think you would feel it catch up on you once you'd drunk a pint or two. I think you'll feel the weight of the beer more as you've drunk it rather than when you're drinking it. Carbonation, medium, I'm going to say. It is there. I wouldn't say it really ruins the mouthfeel. It's more sort of like a background sort of fizz that you get. Quite smooth to drink. Easy to drink. But for me, the taste of it doesn't do it for me personally. You're getting this, for starters, you're getting that malty caramel note. The more you drink it, you still get that malty caramel note, but you're getting quite a big sort of orange citrus note in there. And I can't say I'm enjoying the flavour of that personally, certainly from this beer. Behind that citrus, when the citrus sort of dies down a bit, you definitely get a bigger burst of the malty caramel note. Pardon me. Thank you. And just behind that citrus note, that orange note, I think you get a touch of grapefruit, pithy note, and right on the very back end, it leaves you with an orange citrus bitterness. As I said, for me at the start, it's sort of on the nose and everything. It felt sort of like a West Coast sort of pale ale to a certain extent, just with them notes, like I said, the orange and the grapefruit. And I haven't changed my mind. It feels like it's very much traditional. It may well be in sort of like a can with fancy artwork, but this is very much a traditional sort of beer. Me personally, it doesn't do it for me. I don't mind I like a West Coast IPA, but I like a West Coast IPA more in craft terms rather than traditional sort of terms. And this feels like it's a West Coast pale in traditional sort of terms. I mean, yeah, I'll drink it. Would I buy it again? Personally, not for me. I don't think it's necessarily a bad beer. I just think it depends on what you like. And for me, this one doesn't do it for me personally. 4.2%. I think them flavours, that sort of strong orange note, that bitterness you get in there, that little tickle of grapefruit, I think it makes it feel like a stronger beer than what it maybe is. But yeah, I mean, not for me, but this is the joys of doing beer reviews. You've got to try them all to know what you like and what you don't like. And like I say, for me, this one doesn't do it for me personally. But if you are a traditional sort of beer drinker and you like that sort of West Coast feel, I'm going to say, this might be up your street. But for me, nah, not for me. So there you go. If you've had it before, let me know your thoughts on it. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, give the video a like, and I'll see you again soon on another one. Cheers.